Welcome to the RIP 28 podcast. I am your humble host, Mr. Sly Williams. I am joined by two of my good friends today. Two of my good friends joined in the top left by my homeboy C. Nez. How you doing, Chance?
What's up, brethren? Let's get it going today, baby.
And down in the bottom, we got the Salt Man. What's going on, Salt?
What's happening, everybody? It's your man Salt. It's been a minute, but I'm ready to get back in it. Let's do it.
All right. Now here on the RIP 28 podcast, we are going to do something a little different today. We're going to do something just a little bit different. Wait a minute. Before we do that, man, let me tell you how you can watch us, man. I want to make sure everybody out there knows how they can get in touch with us, how they can watch us. You can hit us on Twitter at RIP28 Podcast, or you can hit us on Facebook at RIP28. You can hit us on Instagram or YouTube. For all of you all watching on YouTube right now, we want to make sure you click on the subscribe button. Make sure you click on the subscribe. Make sure you like this video. Leave your comments. Leave your comments, man. We respond. We like to answer questions and all that type of stuff for all our loyal listeners and our loyal viewers, loyal watchers, and all that. But today we want to talk about something. We want to talk about conspiracy. We want to talk about some conspiracies going on, because in the world we living in today, you don't know who you can trust, man. It's getting close to election season. We got to vote for your president, vote for your congressman, whatever your state is voting for come November. But a lot of conspiracies out there, a lot of things that make you go, is the man trying to get me? Is the man trying to trick me, man? What's really going on, man? I got a couple in my head, and I know my homeboys got a couple in their head. So the first thing I kind of want to jump into, man, you think we out here by ourselves? And what I mean by that, man, this Area 51, I don't know if y'all remember early last year, they were talking about they was going to have some people trying to storm Area 51 to try to figure out if they had aliens or whatever there. You think they hiding the aliens, man? Holla at me.
I know they hiding something. Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, for sure.
It got to be something different out there, man. It's. I believe that they hiding something. Where did that Area 51 come from? If it ain't nothing there, or if it's non-existent, it got to be somewhere, man. So you agree with me?
Yeah, I mean that's probably why they got it in the middle of nowhere. Less traffic for people to kind of snoop around or whatever. And but yeah, they got if not aliens, they got something that may prove that there's other life form out there or something. But yeah, I'm sure there's a lot of secrets.
Man, you got to
hear about UFOs and all kind of stuff, man.
It's a whole.
You know what I mean?
It's a whole big world out there, man. You know, we might be kind of selfish to think that we're the only things out here, man.
Right.
You know, it's a whole wide universe out there, and it kind of make you wonder about technology and stuff. And it's funny, you watch Men in Black. I remember watching Men in Black, and they were saying how we use the aliens to get this and use the alien technology to help us get that. It kind of made me wonder, man, how in the hell we figure some of this shit out?
But you're saying that for sure that if there's an alien that they smarter than we are. I don't know that to be the case either. I'm thinking if an alien out there somewhere, just like another Earth or something like that, that don't mean that they got all the better technology than we have. So that's another conspiracy in itself.
Man, look, man, if they out there and they done made it here, they got to be smarter than us. We ain't making it in. Think about it. We ain't making it in.
Let me throw something at you, though.
What's up, Sal?
Let me throw something at you. So, my wife, she's a science chick, right? So she kind of put it on me about stars, the stars that we see at night. Basically, for that star to be seen up in the sky, it takes millions of years before the light from that star actually gets to us before we actually see it. Considering that, I think we're relatively a young, civilization, mankind, or whatever. So if you think about it, if there are stars and other things out there that's been out there millions and millions of years, maybe there are other civilizations that have more advanced technology than us. So and considering we're so young, you know, they probably got the game on lock where they can come in cloaked, not be seen as much, and you know, I'm sure they're out there, man.
Man,
I'm
that's what they tell
Yeah.
you, man. They tell you millions of years for that light to get to this planet, but you don't know. You don't know, man. That's just some scientists guess, man. That thing could be, the next planet could be right around the corner from Pluto. It could be right there on the edge of our solar system. Could be the next
Yeah.
man. We don't know.
That's true. There is a lot of propaganda out there, man. That just sometimes it conflicts, sometimes it's just stuff we got to take it at heart, I guess. I mean, or not, because like you said, we
Still
don't
take
know
it,
for sure.
it still take you 100 or 1,000 years to get to Pluto now.
It don't take.
That's a long way away just out of the solar system.
I think it took.
Say what?
I don't think it take 100, 1,000 years to get to Pluto. I think it take. I don't know for sure. We have to, we give some RIP 28 facts, so it might not be facts, but I know it take to get to Mars.
Yeah,
It take you breaking up on me, man. You got that Arkansas internet.
But to your point, Sly, how do you know they went to Mars? How you know it took 5 years?
5 years or so.
Hmm?
Yeah, they tell me they went to Mars, so I'm gonna believe.
See, see, you believe what you want to.
It's funny because I believe they went to Mars, but I don't believe they went to the moon. Because my thing is, you think about it, if they went to the moon 50 years ago, ain't nobody never been back. We ain't got no houses on the moon yet. They ain't built some biosphere or something on the moon. Come on, man.
Ain't nothing to do up there.
They might that might be where
they got plenty of pictures of it.
That might be where the white folk go and hide out when they won't get away from the black folk. They go to the moon. They gonna move to the moon.
That's Earth phase 2.
Yeah,
that's that real gentrification right there.
Yeah, they gonna go and gentrify the moon. So yeah, man, I don't know.
I don't know.
I would love to have that cash, man, because they got you can buy a space flight now. I know at one time for the Russians, if you had enough money, they would actually put you in a space shuttle and you could go into orbit.
Oh yeah.
Over the Earth.
Because hey, do y'all remember when we was little? They said you can't keep breaking the atmosphere from the Earth to outer space or something like that. Y'all remember something like that? What's the little cloud that go around the Earth or whatever? The little,
I know what you're talking
about. Little
is it stratosphere or something?
I don't know. That's
something. They was like, well, you can't keep breaking it because I guess you'd get the outer space non-oxygen or whatever in the Earth or something. But if they was doing that, I guess that ain't true either.
The longer you look into it, the more lies you find, man. But you know what though, I might be tripping though, but they might already have a colony up there on the moon. That way Bill Gates and what you call my man Bezos, they might already got a couple of houses up there chilling on the moon, him and Zuckerberg.
Well, they did say it's a matter of time before we get hit by some meteorites again. That may actually, destroy Earth. So you might be right, Sly. They might have a backup plan B already out there.
Mm-hmm. Be like, yeah, when that meteorite, the big asteroid come, they'll be good.
Yeah.
That's why Elon Musk keep building them rockets.
And the dude that went on Earth.
Due to what?
And the dude that went to the moon, did he plant a flag or something? I said, then the dude who went to the moon planted a flag up there or something.
Yeah, Neil Armstrong.
Like, y'all remember that planting?
Yeah.
And that's
I ain't never seen a picture of that flag again. I don't know about y'all.
He planted the flag on the moon, and they showed the flag moving. But here go the thing, it ain't no air on the moon, ain't no wind on the moon. So how would the flag?
Shouldn't be no wind.
They had cardboard behind it.
Yeah,
Help it stand up.
Is it no wind up there?
Huh?
Do we know it ain't no wind on the moon? I mean, it's right by the earth.
Well, it ain't no air.
It's spinning around.
It ain't no oxygen up there. So
it's spinning around.
Man, it ain't spinning around fast
I
enough.
don't think you need oxygen.
How fast you think it's spinning, bro?
Just like that. So you think oxygen make wind? That ain't what wind is. That's from the water and all that stuff and the.
It's all molecules.
Ain't no
molecules.
water on the moon. Ain't no water.
I seen the lake. I seen the lake over there by where they landed the ship.
Nah, no lake. Ain't no lake. Ain't no lakeside. Ain't no lakefront property on the moon.
I'm not seeing the river in one of them craters, man.
That's some craters, man.
Man, we talking about stuff we ain't got no idea what we talking.
No idea.
No clues.
Hey, this one of these shows if you smoke weed or something like that.
Bro, I'm telling you, man. In my younger days, man, we would have had this conversation would have been real deep. Man. But you know, I just want
man.
That one conspiracy about the unknown and the beyond. You know, there's some other things that kind of make me wonder if the government is out to get you, out to protect us. You know, government could be out to get you because you know I look at Bill Cosby, and is the government out to get the cause? Shit, not out to get them. Hell, they already got them.
They got them. Yeah, they got them.
Got them, man.
But they made it a point to get them.
Of all people, the cause.
Yeah.
So it made me.
Man, like 99 years old, man.
Yeah, you know, cause
they're like 99 and they're gonna put him in jail.
You're gonna put that old behind man in jail, and cause 100 years old. It gonna put cause in jail. So I was like, hey.
Well, what I understand though, it was one of the main reasons. Again, we talk about conspiracies. That he was about to make a power move to purchase or buy into NBC.
Mm-hmm.
So for Black African American to make a move like that, you know, maybe forces just had to make sure that it didn't happen and put them under.
Yeah.
So.
And then with the fact with Cosby being so outspoken, or not necessarily outspoken, but Cosby was pro-Black. It wasn't no question of where his allegiance, you know, stayed. You know, he said some messed up stuff to the about Black people need to, you know, not listen to hip hop and stuff like that, you know, but still, you get somebody like that in charge of NBC. And I was reading something about the way Cosby, the way he set up stuff for his shows, you know, it's like he had a person, he hired some person on the Cosby Show to make sure that he never showed Black folk in a negative light on the Cosby Show. You got to think, if you remember, the Cosby Show was set in the 80s in Brooklyn, New York, during the middle of the crack epidemic. And you never saw crackheads on the Cosby Show. You ain't never seen a crackhead on the Cosby Show, not once.
That's true.
And you got to think, I'm like, wow, where all the dope at? Yeah. So,
that's true, man.
So, but
good point, man.
If you had a dude like that in charge of NBC, who was so intent on making Black men or Black people look good, a lot of the programming, you know, and that's the next thing you kind of lead into. You got a lot of programming you know, depict black men is feminine gay a lot. A lot of these shows, they have feminine gay black men. Now, if you gay, that's your business. You know what I'm saying? Hey, go ahead and do what you do. Hell, that's less competition for me. But they do show. They seem like they show that part of the black experience on damn near every TV show. It's a gay black guy on the show. So
I
that
don't know, Sly. I don't know. I mean, I agree with you on that, but I don't necessarily think it's just blacks. I think they're increasingly just bringing more of the gay element to shows and movies. You know, you see now more women kissing women, men kissing men on these, these content. So I don't know if it's just, pertaining to men and gay men, but just the gay element in general, it seems like it's just, you know, the new norm, if you will.
I agree with you on that, so that it's overall, but I do agree with Sly that I guess we don't have as many shows as our counterparts, white counterparts, and then so it's a smaller percentage. And then in all those percentages of our black shows, you got some gay guy or gay woman on the show that you know we started behind a lot of people, so we trying to build ourselves up in a certain way, and it seems like they're just pushing their agenda a little hard on stuff that all our young men watch.
True. Good point.
and that's the thing. That's the thing that kind of gets me, the pushing of the agenda. Like I say, being gay, they plenty of black gay people out there. Hell, I live in Atlanta. I see every year they have big gay pride festival here in Atlanta. But
They almost converged you too, didn't they, Sly? They almost got you, dog. I'm glad you stuck in there.
nah,
Hey, we don't have no problem with them guys.
I'm gonna ride this woman thing on out.
There you go.
I'm gonna work with that. Work with that.
There you go.
But my thing is though, is to me it just seems like they push that narrative more than they push any other narrative. I mean, than the traditional family. And at one time they pushed the gangbanger black image all the time.
Right.
That gangbanger black image all the time. And that's just one thing I really liked about Bill Cosby was when you saw the Cosby Show, you saw a black doctor and a black lawyer. You know what I'm saying? And when you saw the different world, it was black people going to college. It was really positive light. And at one point in time, they kind of went away from that. And all you saw was gangbang, especially in movies. All you saw was the black gangbang movie, stuff like that. And then now you see a lot of the black gay narrative. And I don't want to say, I don't want nobody to think I'm saying that's a bad narrative. But,
let me slide in on that with you. Let me slide in on that with you real quick. It ain't nothing wrong with gay people being on TV, because I mean that's part of life. It's gay people, it's heterosexual people, and all that stuff. But I think the kind of guys that they put on there is so over the top with it. What I mean? It's just crazy. It's like, all right, people are who they are. I mean, it's natural. We've come to learn and live with that, and that's fine. But the kind of people they put on there just seems like, man, are they trying to make this glorified, I guess.
Yeah, and that I think that might be what it is for me, because it's like I know gay people, I know gay dudes or whatever, and to me they're regular dudes, you know what I'm saying? They just like men, you know what I'm saying? They regular dudes, yeah. and watch the game with them, chill, kick it, you know what I'm saying? But on TV you don't see that. On TV you don't see. You always see the highly feminine black gay guy.
Flamboyant.
Yeah, flamboyant.
Yeah, flamboyant.
Yeah, they funny characters, but
Or you see one who got a wife. Or you see one who got a wife and then they got a boyfriend on the side.
That's your was it dude running for governor, ran for governor.
Hey, down.
Yeah, he's bisexual now. But I don't know, man. They say that was some arrangement him and his wife had. I was like, oh Lord.
I think some people actually that's a real thing. I think that's a real thing.
Whatever floats your boat, that ain't my household. So.
Right. But Sly, you made a good point. You actually made me think about it, man. Since if you think about it, since like the '90s, your Family Matters, a couple other black shows, like in the 2000s, maybe in the last 20 years, can y'all think of any successful kind of longevity black show, kind of a positive family household that took place in the last 20 years?
No,
I can't think of any.
the closest I can come is probably Bernie Mac, but Bernie Mac still had to take in three of his. They wasn't his
Right.
kids.
They weren't his kids, right.
You know, I mean, but they did show a positive family. But yeah, probably the last 20 years, man, I can't.
Blackish, man.
Was D.L. Hughley, the Hughleys, was that the last 20 years?
That probably was early 2000s,
probably.
probably.
Yeah, D.L. Hughley.
Yeah. But it's been too far in between.
Blackish,
yeah.
Y'all seen that?
Yeah, Blackish is pretty good. That's
that
probably the only one,
Yeah.
I'd say. But
Yeah.
But that's just a small percentage in a big pool of these TV shows and movies. So if that gives any perspective. But yeah, you made me think about that, Sly.
So yeah, maybe I think it seemed like to me, it seemed like it's a conspiracy out there to take away the strong black male on TV. To me, it seemed like, because you rarely see the strong black dad on TV, and we had a host of them growing up on TV. Fresh Prince, like you said, Family Matters, Cosby Show. You had a lot of strong black dads, and even Good Times, as much as they were, in the ghetto or whatever. You still had James Evans, who's still a strong black man. Now, sidebar. I personally believe Florida Evans kept the Evans in the ghetto. That was her job, to keep them poor. Because every time James had a scheme or idea, she came in and said, "No, Jesus wouldn't like that." So I think Florida trying to keep the Evans in the ghetto. But that's neither here nor there. So let's get off of this TV. Let's talk about the other conspiracy theories. What about sports, man? Y'all think there's any conspiracy theories out there in sports?
Oh, all day long. A lot of it got to do with money, but I don't know if it's actual conspiracy, but it's, hey, this was gonna happen because this gonna make us the most profit.
Yeah, there's a lot of gambling involved in sports.
And I think if you think back, I think the NFL might be one of the biggest culprits. And this is why I say this. If we recently had 9/11 not too long ago, a couple of weeks ago. If you look back after 9/11, a team that kind of bust onto the scene and won the Super Bowl that year was the New England Patriots. Everything about patriotism was so high. Everybody was proud to be American, proud to be this, proud to be just American. And then the next thing you know, the team that win the Super Bowl is the Patriots. I was like, wow.
You had Hurricane Katrina, and then New Orleans Saints won the Super Bowl.
And then the Saints won the Super Bowl.
Tragedy is good for publicity.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
So I
they ain't been back since. They've been making them lose every year.
So it's funny, man. It's like certain things in sports. You think it's a conspiracy. You go back even further, like the NBA, when it came to the NBA draft. The first NBA draft ever, the New York Knicks happened to pick the best college basketball. The New York Knicks wasn't even favored to win the lottery. they wasn't favored to win the lottery, and they end up picking Patrick Ewing, the #1 player in America. They end up getting the first draft pick when they wasn't even supposed to be the first draft pick. You know, that's what the Knicks do. And you know,
Oh yeah.
and
I think about that all the time. You think about LeBron going to Cleveland.
LeBron going to Cleveland,
Just his hometown.
you know, and Cleveland was another one. They wasn't expected to get. They percentage. They weren't supposed to get the #1 draft pick, but they end up getting LeBron. So you know, hey.
Well, that stuff is political too, man, and I think like the commissioner, pretty much everything has to go through those guys, even just to get approval, you know, to make those trades or whatever, because you know they got it in place where they're not going to let so many superstars stack on one team, you know, because you know.
Well, nah, this was the draft though, so this was the lottery. They LeBron and Patrick Ewing got picked in the lottery. So it wasn't like somebody traded to get Patrick Ewing. They had the way they decided when Patrick Ewing did it, the way they decided who was going to win the lottery.
Ping pong ball.
No, it wasn't ping pong ball. It was an envelope. It was an envelope. You never saw who names was on the envelope. You didn't.
Somebody knew what envelope was gonna get open. They know they make those decisions.
I heard it was frozen, so they knew which one to pick.
Exactly. Stern went in there, picked the frozen envelope, and boom, here go the Knicks.
Yeah.
Like percentage-wise, I think they were supposed to have their chances were like 6 or 7. That was the highest chance or whatever they should have got.
Uh-huh.
But all of a sudden, this floundering New York franchise got a chance to get Patrick Ewing. And then you look at when LeBron got drafted, they had the ping pong balls. And Cleveland wasn't supposed to get the first pick either. And now Cleveland ends up getting the right ping pong ball to get the kid who's been proclaimed as the greatest basketball player ever since his 9th grade year. You know, and he happened to be a hometown Ohio guy.
You think they do that in rotation though? Like if a team's been sorry for 10, 15 years, then they kind of say, okay, we gotta get them going or something.
Nope. I think it's
according to how much pull that owner got.
Huh?
According to how much pull that owner got.
Because if you think about it, you know, I think it's just a conspiracy. And whenever a group of folk get together and say, hey, we need LeBron in Cleveland, and this how we got to work this out. Because if you think about it, Zion Williamson would have been drafted to the Knicks. You know, if it was just because your team doing bad, it's going to go around. You know, it all depends on when you get that perfect storm, and that perfect storm was LeBron being Ohio native going to Cleveland.
Yeah.
My thing is the games. I think the games is rigged a lot, man. Maybe not the regular season. You gotta do your thing in the regular season, but in the playoffs, they want the biggest market, top watch teams to make it to the finals.
Yeah.
So you get a team. You know, I'm a Grizzly fan, so we done had a squad back in the day when we had Zach Randolph and Marc Gasol and all them guys. We had teams that, I mean, we playing against OKC with KD, Russell Westbrook, James Harden. We whooping them. We getting folks ejected from the game for some bull. You know, everybody fouling out, and it goes 7 games. They win on in the last minute of the game. You know, I was like, we was a way better team than them at the time, in my opinion. But conspiracy. Let the more superstars, famous people, popular people win.
Right.
That happen all the time.
Oh yeah, because that sells seats, that sells jerseys, that sells everything else outside off the court where they make their money.
And another thing is, man, I think one of my biggest sports conspiracies, what I believe, is they don't let teams sweep anymore. You rarely see a sweep because
Oh yeah, you ain't going for no.
you lose out on that TV money, man. That TV money, they make their money, games, them late games, games 4, 5, 6, and 7 is when they, when it's just strictly profit for it. So
Right.
I'm like, nah. So they like, nah, it ain't gonna be no sweep. We gonna these referees, we gonna throw a couple of calls here and there. We gonna do something funny. We gonna make sure we don't have this sweep so we can get this TV money.
Right.
It's a guarantee if you make it to the finals, it's going 6 games. At least. Guarantee.
TV money. Gotta get it, man.
Yeah. And I understand it, but they ain't got to lie.
Don't make it right.
Yeah.
Don't make it right.
Yeah, exactly. You ain't gotta lie, Craig. You ain't gotta lie. So, yeah, man. Any of you guys got some conspiracy theories out there, man? I don't want to take up everything. But then y'all think, what y'all think is a little bit fishy? Just don't quite smell right for you.
And we can talk politics, but I think we know that'll go on for years with that cat in the office right now. But going back to you mentioned Bill Cosby, Sly. I think Prince was kind of almost in the same boat as far as trying to make a power move. I can't remember what he was maybe in the process of purchasing, like a network or some production company or something. But next thing you know, he's gone, no longer with us. Rest in peace. But I think that's kind of just a testament. Also, they won't let us be great. Some of those that are kind of in a position to make those power moves, they don't get to that plateau, so they're just kind of hitting that glass ceiling for us. So,
Yeah,
and
I
that's
agree
just on the
with you.
high end. I mean, we experience that on our everyday, job or whatever the case. But when we talk about some of those that are kind of out front as celebrities, everyone knows, no matter how much celebrity you have, sometimes the color of your skin still plays that factor of you can't go but so far. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I add on to that from you. All right, the biggest one, of course, Martin Luther King. Once
Right.
he had this grand following and everything, boom, he get assassinated. The
Yep.
next two I'll talk about is Tupac and Biggie. How in the
Mm.
world we got all this? They don't know who killed them guys, man. How in the world they don't know who killed Pac and Biggie, the two most famous rappers that it was out there in the middle of Las Vegas, one of them on the strip with millions of people out there. It's crazy. He had a following. He was saying good stuff.
The
Go
crazy
ahead, Sly.
with Pac is a little bit of our own undoing. What I mean by that is they know who killed Pac. I watch Vlad TV a lot, and they've actually had the guy who was in the car with the shooter. The shooter, the dude who shot Pac, dude named Orlando Anderson, is the guy who actually shot Pac. He got killed in a drive-by. Well, he got killed at a gas station about a year or so later. So he's dead. So
Wow.
they knew, but a lot of that had to do with this code of not snitching and not telling.
Right.
That's the reason Pac killer was never brought to justice. And now, dude dead, and everybody who done had anything, who had something to do with it, is dead too. So Pac killer they know, but the one Biggie killer, that's the one that is some type of conspiracy to that shit right there. Pac got killed, and this is all just because I watch a lot of Vlad TV, and I think he has actually interviewed everybody who's had anything to do with Tupac. He really has, but Pac stuff was just some random LA gang shit. He jumped the guy. The guy Orlando Anderson had stole somebody from Death Row's chain at a mall, a couple of weeks earlier or something, and then they ran into him at the casino, and then they beat him. They jumped him and beat him down in the casino, and then he just retaliated later that night. So yeah, podcast is just some random dumb N-word shit.
Right.
You know?
Right.
I keep forgetting you're a historian, Sly.
But yeah, you know, that history. You know, but yeah,
Yeah, but
I watch a lot of Vlad TV, and like I said, that dude done interviewed everybody who had anything to do with Tupac. He even interviewed the chick who accused Tupac of raping him. Well, not accused, hell, got him sent to jail. He had an interview with her, so it was yeah, it's interesting that Tupac thing. But
But
Biggie,
what?
huh?
But why do you think, if I guess the people have come forward, talk about it, why haven't you know why haven't a lot of people still kind of have this, oh, it's still a mystery conspiracy? Why
Well,
do you think they won't let kind of basically let everybody know, hey guys, we figured it out, blah blah blah.
well, it ain't really a secret though. Everybody who want to know kind of know. I guess the people. If you don't want to,
I ain't know nothing about that.
you
I
ain't.
mean, I'm familiar with Vlad TV. I don't really watch it like that, but
But let me ask you a question: have you Googled who killed? If you go and type in who shot Tupac on Google right now, you'll find the answer. It'll say,
how long ago that came out? Because when it happened, say 5-10 years
"Oh
afterwards,
no,
then it
no,
was
the answer ain't come out. All the stories ain't come out recently. Probably probably 5-6 years ago. All the answers.
I wasn't on us Googling that no more.
Yeah. If you just Google who shot Tupac,
yeah, you're right, Sly.
and see,
One,
boom,
the second one came up with Wikipedia. I don't know how reliable people think it is, but Orlando Anderson is
yeah.
his name.
So
Hey,
it's common knowledge now, but like you said, Chance, it really just came to light, But then again, the non-snitching culture and everything that we live in, that hood culture, people in LA, they knew the day after it happened. The people in LA, they knew if you were in
that circle.
if you was in that lifestyle, because after Tupac got killed, a bunch of people in LA got shot and killed. It was a lot of retaliation going around from Bloods and Crips over Tupac getting shot. And the funny thing is, Tupac wasn't even a Blood, but he was riding with Bloods, and so Bloods figured they had to, I guess, protect the reputation or whatever you want to call it. So yeah, man, that one is common knowledge, but that don't make it right. You know what I'm saying? It ain't right, but yeah, but Biggie, that's still not nobody know. Or nobody saying anything. Somebody know.
Yeah.
Last quick thing I kind of got a conspiracy about. I only see this on TV, so I don't know. I mean, I'm sure it happened in real life. They had to get it from somewhere. But, say somebody go to jail or somebody get convicted or something, and then all the witnesses end up dead. You know what I mean? I think that's crazy. They got mafia hitters out there, snipers, all kind of stuff, man. And they'll make you die in ways that look natural, kind of. You know what I mean? It ain't like somebody just comes shoot you in the head. It's like, your toaster or your phone fell into the bathtub or something like that, and you electrocuted yourself, something like that. Look like you committed suicide, stuff like that.
He went swimming. He went swimming in Lake Murray and drowned in the lake. So
yeah, man, crazy stuff like that.
Yeah, I think there's all kind of mafias out there. Chinese, Russian, all kinds out there, man. But of course, we don't see them because that's the whole point.
Yeah,
they don't want to be seen out front.
Yeah.
So.
And that's what killed me about the black gang. Learn something from some of these.
we too bold and flashy. That's our problem.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, fellas, man, this has been fun, man. Just tipping the tip of the iceberg on this little conspiracy talk, man. It's been fun sitting up here shooting the shit with y'all. But
same here.
we gonna pull it in, man. Any parting shots from you over there, C-Nares?
Hey, man, can't wait to get back in that Eastern time zone with y'all boys, man. We're gonna have to get up, baby.
Oh
Yes,
yeah,
sir. We waiting. We waiting.
man. Got to move on back east to the East Coast. What about you, Salt?
Yeah, man. It was a good conversation. But yeah, I think just using common sense, man. You know, you can believe what you want to believe and discredit whatever you want to, but use common sense. I think that's the best thing God gave us. So, you know, be smart out there.
Be smart out there. Well, this is the Rip.
3000 said it was aliens.
Say what now? What'd you say?
I said Andre 3000 said it was aliens.
Hey, if Dre 3000 said it, it's true. Well, this is the Rip 28 podcast, man. The Rip 28 podcast is a spot where we're going to talk about some things you like. It's a spot where we're going to talk about some things you don't like, but we're going to keep on talking about them here on the Rip 28 podcast. It's been a blast. We'll see you next week on the Rip 28 podcast.
Peace.
Peace out.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you into me, hope you understand I am not your enemy, nor will I pretend to be. I got these powers like Austin, so I like your season.